Hey, Talia. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Oh, yeah? You know John, right? Your fiancé?
Of course. What's up?
It looks like he's decided he'd rather marry me instead of you. I know this is gonna come as a shock, but there's really nothing that you can do about it besides move on with your life.
Okay. I don't get it. Is this supposed to be some kind of joke or something?
Talia, I'm your best friend. I would never joke about something like this with you. Now, it's not like I was trying to steal him from you or anything. I was just gonna fool around with him a bit, but one thing led to another and you know how it goes. For whatever reason, John just seriously fell for me. Before I knew it, the poor guy was begging me to marry him and I just couldn't say no.
Wait. Are you actually serious right now? What the hell, Clarice?
I'm afraid so. I thought I should probably tell you as soon as possible. I'm sure you've got a lot of phone calls that you're gonna have to make. But we've been BFFs since middle school, so I hope you can get over this eventually. You'll forgive me, won't you?
Wait, I need time to process this. I can't quite get a grip on what's going on here. Could we just go back a second? Are you really trying to tell me that you've been sleeping with John? What the hell is the matter with you? And right before my wedding?
Just calm down, Talia. It's nothing to freak out over. I understand that it's going to come as a shock, having it sprung on you like this, but you shouldn't make a huge deal out of this. I know it's not pretty, but this is just the reality of the situation. You just need to learn to live with it. John is with me now. Just let that sink in.
But how? Why? Tell me what happened. I thought you were my best friend. How could you do something like this to me?
I told you, I didn't mean to. I was just having fun.
What do you mean you were having fun? Did you really think it was fun to fool around with my fiancé? Who even are you? How long have you been doing this? When did this all start?
Oh, well, this is a bit awkward, actually. But you are my best friend after all. I know you deserve to hear the truth. The truth is, we've been sleeping together for about 6 months now.
6 months? You two have been sneaking around behind my back for 6 whole months. How could you do that?
Well, he was just your boyfriend back then, to be fair. Like I said, I was just having a bit of fun. I didn't think it was that serious. I fully intended to stop seeing him when you guys got married. John always said the same thing. He said we were just having fun and they didn't intend to let it affect your guys' relationship at all, but, well, here we are.
You thought that so long as you stopped screwing around by the actual wedding, that'd make everything okay somehow? Do you expect me to buy that crap? You do know that I was supposed to be getting married to John this weekend, right? You should. It's on your invitation. How could you just suddenly decide to marry him instead?
Come on, Talia. I told you. I was just enjoying what I thought was going to be our last hurrah when John just suddenly sprung it on me. He said that he'd much rather marry me than you. He said I was his soulmate and we were destined to be together.
Why would you say something like that to me?
What? You asked, didn't you? I'm just telling you what he told me. You know how his company's sending him off to Texas soon? He told me that you refused to go along with him. I think that was probably the final nail in the coffin.
I have my own career. I can't just move across the country because of his job. Especially because it looks like he only has to go to Texas for 1 year. Just 1 year. We'd still be able to see each other on the weekends sometimes as well. Why should I have to give up on my career over something like that?
Well, you see, that's the whole issue. He was going to be your husband. You want him to move off to Texas all by his lonesome right after he gets married? What were you thinking? Like, come on, Tully. You have to admit that you're not exactly blameless in this.
Says the dirty backstabber who slept with her best friend's fiancé.
Oh, grow up.
You basically put the axe to your own marriage before it even got started.
Can't believe you wouldn't go with him. I guess that's why he chose me over you. He wants a wife. Not a career woman that'll only be around occasionally when work permits. It's much better to be with a warm, caring woman such as myself.
You! Warm and caring, that's a laugh.
Hey, I'm a kindergarten teacher. Of course I'm warm and caring. That's why the little brats love me. Plus, I can go with Johnny no matter where his company sends him.
Johnny. Ugh.
Talia, really. Anyway, I told Johnny that I could never stand to be separate from my husband, not even for 1 week. Certainly not for a year. I'm prepared to go with him no matter where he says we have to go. Johnny was so moved when I told him that he almost started to cry. I'm not even joking. That's when he told me that I was his soulmate.
And so in the end, that's why he decided to jump ship at the last minute. Because he didn't want to go to Texas alone? You guys are just completely pathetic, the both of you.
What else were we supposed to do? If we're soulmates, we should be together.
Give me a break with the soulmates crap, will you? You said yourself that you were just fooling around with him.
I understand that you're bitter, but there's no reason to take your anger out on me.
Are you out of your mind? There's nobody on this planet who would think I wasn't justified in being angry after what you've just told me.
If you didn't want to lose Johnny, you shouldn't have refused to go with him. I guess you're probably really starting to regret that now, but it's too late. You had your chance. You have no right to complain at all when you're the one who brought all of this on yourself.
You know what? I'm done. I just can't even talk to you right now. It looks like I need to go cancel my wedding, so let's just put a pin in this. But don't worry, I'll be in touch later. You still need to take responsibility for what you've done, after all.
Oh, you know what? Don't even worry about canceling anything. Johnny and I'll just make use of everything you've got planned already.
Why would I ever let you do something like that?
Because it's a total waste to just go and cancel everything at this stage. You probably can't even get all of your deposits back or anything this late in the game. Besides, there's already a replacement bride. Oh, I can even wear your wedding dress, so that won't have to go to waste either. You could even be my maid of honor, since you were already planning to go to a wedding anyway. I need somebody to give a speech on my behalf, too. Hey, sis. Mom and Dad told me about you canceling the wedding. What happened? Are you okay? The wedding was only in a couple more days.
Apparently, John found someone else he loves more than me. They're soulmates, so he's off to marry her instead.
What? Are you kidding me?
I'm afraid not.
That is absolutely insane! How could anybody do something like that?
I told him I didn't want to move to Texas with him next year. Apparently, that makes me a cold-hearted witch.
What kind of stupid reason is that? You've got to be kidding me! I know you guys had talked about Texas a lot before now. It's not like it was a surprise for him or anything.
I know, right? It's absolutely unbelievable. And get a load of this. He wants to marry the other girl the same day that we were supposed to get married. They even had the nerve to ask me to hand over our reservations.
You're kidding me. What an absolute pig! What kind of girl is this soulmate of his anyway? If he's leaving you just because of Texas, it sounds like more of a convenience mate.
Right? The whole Texas thing is just a big load of crap anyway. It turns out they were cheating together for the last 6 months. We didn't even know about Texas back then.
Oh, God. This just gets worse and worse. I'm so sorry, Talia. Who even is this skink?
You remember Clarice, right? My best friend since middle school?
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
Yup. Who would have thunk, right?
Seriously? What the hell? She's the one in like half of your Insta photos, right? Like literally your best friend? Didn't we all go to Six Flags or something back in the day?
Yep, that'd be the one. You drove us and she made us listen to BTS the whole time. That's how I got into them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. But what the hell is the matter with John? I thought he seemed like such a nice boy, too.
Yeah, no kidding. I was in love with him.
Oh, Talia. You don't need either of them. However much of a friend she used to be, there's no place in your life for somebody who would mess around with your boyfriend, let alone your fiancé. And don't even get me started on John. I know this won't make you feel any better, but this is almost a blessing in disguise. Imagine if you'd actually been married to him when you learned about this. I mean, cheating on you for 6 months. You're way better off without him.
You're right. It doesn't make me feel better. Obviously, I'm better off not being married to a cheater and not being friends with someone like Clarice anymore. But it doesn't make it feel good. Losing my best friend and my fiancé all in one fell swoop like this, it's just more than I can handle right now.
I know, Tolly. I'm sorry. I don't know what I can tell you to make you feel better. I'm here if you need anything.
You know what I really can't believe? She didn't even have the decency to really apologize. She just said that they were soulmates, so this was for the best. Clarice acts like she didn't even do anything wrong. She even invited me to go to their wedding. It's like the both of them are laughing at me. I don't know what I did to deserve this. Just because I didn't want to go to stupid Texas? It's not fair. I don't deserve this.
I know, Tolly. You're right. You definitely don't deserve this. But please try to calm down a little. If you give in to despair now, you'll just be playing right into their hands. Don't let them win.
They already won. They're getting married on my wedding day. I have nothing and they get everything.
I know it seems like that, but you're gonna be okay. I promise you. It might be hard now, but if you can put on a brave face, I think we can turn things around on them.
Really? What do you mean turn things around? We can do that?
Look, if all you do is sit at home moping and feeling sorry for yourself, you're just gonna reward those two for what they've done. Your friend Clarice might get it in her head that what she did was actually okay. Maybe she'll tell herself that they really are soulmates who had to sacrifice you in order to be together. She's going to turn this horrible farce into some kind of tragic love story.
That's just making me feel worse about things.
Right? It makes me sick. That's why we need to do something about it. You've got to stand up for yourself and make sure they don't just get away with it. We're going to take all the pain and suffering that you're feeling now, and we're going to give it back to them tenfold.
I mean, you might be right, but it sounds like something that's much easier said than done. I've no idea where to even begin to accomplish something like that.
It's okay. I've got a few ideas. All you need to worry about is not letting yourself be totally consumed with grief right now. Just work on getting yourself up out of bed and out in the sunlight and leave the rest up to your big sister.
What are you gonna do?
You know how they say life is full of surprises? Even when things seem really bad, there might always be something great around the next corner. Let's just say I'm going to guarantee that there's something great around the next corner. Everything is going to be okay, so just leave it all up to your big sister. We'll show those dirty cheaters that you're not someone to be trifled with.
Okay, I trust you.
I've got a pop quiz for you. What is special about today?
Why are you texting me?
Nope. Sorry, that's the wrong answer. The correct answer is that today is the day Johnny and I leave for our honeymoon.
So what are you messaging me for if you're off on your honeymoon? Don't you have anything better to do?
Now, calm down. You've been way too much of a party pooper lately. Won't you at least try to be a little more excited for me? Talking to you is kind of bringing me down.
You want me to be excited for you. Sorry, but that's never gonna happen. I'm never going to even think about you again. What are you even doing for your honeymoon? You didn't even decide to get married until last week. Did you really plan something so quickly?
Yeah, we're really on the ball, huh? Actually, it was a piece of cake. We just decided to use the reservations that you'd already made.
Oh, wow. So you're really just stealing my entire life, are you? What's next? My name?
You can keep that. I never liked your name. Anyway, I can't believe you never told me about your honeymoon plans. I'm your best friend. You're supposed to tell me stuff like this. I mean, Hawaii? Wow, yes please. I was absolutely shocked when Johnny told me. I was up so late packing, I was worried I might miss the flight.
Wait, let's just step back a bit here. There's just something I need to confirm with you. Are you actually telling me that you intend to just go on the honeymoon that I planned?
Exactly! It would just be such a waste to cancel everything that you planned. Just think of all the time and money already spent. And before I forget, I really have to thank you for planning a domestic trip. I don't have a passport, so we would have been in trouble otherwise.
It might be domestic travel, but that doesn't mean you can just suddenly show up and use someone else's ticket. You still need to alert the airline to have any hope of changing the name on the ticket. Have you called the airline yet? Oh, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same deal with the hotel. Have you notified them as well?
Talia, it's just domestic travel. It's not that hard to sort this kind of stuff out. Thank you for your concern, though. More importantly, there's something I want to discuss with you. I really want to go sightseeing on my honeymoon, but I don't really know anything about Hawaii. It's my first time going there, and I didn't exactly have a lot of time to research. Johnny's suggesting we do something exciting like parasailing or cliff diving or whatever he's into, but I was thinking I'd rather just take it easy and relax. I know you've probably given this a lot of thought, so I was hoping maybe you could give me some suggestions.
Boy, talk about something I couldn't care less about.
Hey, don't be like that. Lighten up. I'm in a real pickle here, and I really could use your help, so let's brainstorm. It's my honeymoon after all. I need to make the most of it. Tell me, what will you do if you were in my shoes? If you were going to Hawaii today instead of me, what would you do on your first night? Can you think of a good restaurant? Oh, wait, it looks like we've got that covered at least. Do you think I need to call the restaurant too and change the name on the reservation?
Wow, you've actually managed to outdo yourself. I can't believe how shameless you are. You've stolen my fiancé, you've stolen my wedding, and now you're going to finish it off by stealing my honeymoon. And what's worse, you want to really rub my nose in all of it by asking me for ideas on what to do? I almost feel sick right now. I can't believe I used to think you were my friend. What happened to you, Clarice? You used to be a good person.
Oh, that sure does cut. But I know you're just lashing out because you wish it was you going to Hawaii instead of me. But really, Tali, try and rein it in a bit. If you can't, I might start having second thoughts about our friendship.
You can't be serious.
I'm dead serious. Now, Talia, you planned this entire honeymoon, didn't you? Now, I know that you're feeling bummed because you can't enjoy it after all your planning, but that's no reason for you to take it out on me.
What is wrong with you? Whose fault do you think it is that I'm not going?
Look, I understand that you blame me for what happened, but let's be reasonable here. I'm Johnny's soulmate. I know you're not so heartless that you would keep the man that you loved from his soulmate.
I feel angry enough to hurl my phone across the room right now. Do whatever you want. I don't even care anymore. Just don't contact me about any of this nonsense again.
Hey, wait! You can't go already. You still haven't helped me. At least let me know if there's anything you want from Hawaii. I could at least buy you something as an apology.
Really? You think that buying me a souvenir from the honeymoon that you stole from me would be an adequate apology?
I mean, it's better than nothing, don't you think? Besides, I've been feeling just a little guilty about everything. You are my best friend after all. You think I don't feel bad stealing your fiancé? I also got to have your dream wedding, and now I'm going to enjoy the honeymoon that you planned. I feel just terrible. I thought that at the very least I should pick you up a souvenir.
You're just trying to rub more salt in the wound. I don't know what I ever did to you, but will you just stop? There's no way that you really believe that a souvenir would be a good apology.
Lighten up, will you? Look, I'll get you whatever you want. If it's for you, Talia, I'll buy you as many souvenirs as you want. Just tell me what you want. Remember, I'm doing this to make up for stealing your wedding and your honeymoon, so don't be modest. I'll give you whatever your little heart desires. Well, except for Johnny, of course, he's all mine.
But you're not stealing my honeymoon. That's already been canceled.
What do you mean it's been canceled? Why would it be canceled?
I mean, I don't know where you think you're going, but I already canceled all of the flights and lodging for the honeymoon that I had planned. So I don't need any souvenirs to make up for you stealing my honeymoon. You haven't. And to be perfectly honest, I don't want anything from you at all. I'd rather not have anything to do with you any longer.
Hold on, what do you mean you canceled the flights and lodging? You just up and canceled our honeymoon? Why would you do something like that?
No, I canceled my honeymoon. The one I was supposed to go on with John. Naturally, I canceled that as soon as the wedding was called off. Your honeymoon has nothing to do with me.
You can't possibly be serious, right?
As soon as you started talking about co-opting things from my wedding, I got to canceling the honeymoon as quick as possible. I had a feeling you might try and blame me for being petty and vindictive if I canceled them after you already asked for them. You know, being your best friend and all, it might look bad if I said no. That's why I didn't cancel any of the stuff for the wedding after you asked me to use it. I wouldn't want to be vindictive, right? See, aren't I a good friend? But it would only be natural to cancel my honeymoon plans. You hadn't asked me about them, and I wouldn't have wanted everything to go to waste.
What crap! You knew what you were doing. You basically already admitted it.
Admitted to what? Canceling my own honeymoon plans after my no-good cheating fiancé left me for some tramp? I don't see how anyone could blame me for doing something like that. Seeing as how you're my best friend and all, I'm sure you wouldn't want to lash out at me just because you were careless organizing your own honeymoon.
What is wrong with you? You can't just cancel things at the last minute. The other people involved took time out of their busy lives and were counting on those plans. Wasn't it you always saying things like that to me?
Yeah, but in this case we're talking about me canceling my honeymoon, which has nothing to do with you. Not you not showing to your lunch plans because you're hungover. If you want to go to Hawaii that badly, why don't you just plan your own trip there? I mean, you could always just book a last-minute flight and some last-minute accommodations. It's just domestic travel, so you should be able to do that no problem, right?
We both already know the answer to that. I really can't believe you, Talia. Even if we can still get to Hawaii, the whole day has been spoiled because of you. I was supposed to be relaxing in the first-class lounge right now, sipping on a cocktail.
Look, I don't really have time to listen to you moan about your poor travel planning right now. If I remember right, that flight to Hawaii is supposed to depart in about an hour. You better get moving if you're going to worm your way on it.
Shut up, I know when the flight leaves, Talia. I don't need you to rub my face in it. I just got to the ticket counter now. I'm going to try and recover the ticket as fast as possible. Then, after I'm done with that, I'm going to fix the lodging. I'll restore this whole thing despite your best efforts to sabotage me, you petty, jealous little troll. I can't believe you've made such a mess of things, though. I thought you were better than that.
It really breaks my heart to hear you say that, Clarice. You know what else breaks my heart? No matter how much you rush, you're never going to be able to recover the reservation for the lodgings. Our plan was to stay in a villa that my sister arranged.
Oh, is that right?
I'm sorry that you've been rushing around trying to fix something you never had any hope of fixing. But even if you badger the people at the airline and somehow manage to get tickets sorted out, it'll still be too late for the lodging. Maybe you can get yourself booked into a motel somewhere, but there's really no hope of recovering the lodging that we had planned.
What do you mean there's no hope? Didn't you say your sister arranged the villa?
That's right. To be honest, it was actually my sister who arranged pretty much the entire honeymoon since I had my hands full just with the wedding. She actually has her very own company that handles tours in Hawaii now. Can you believe that?
Really? You never told me that.
Yeah, she's had the company for a while now, so my sister actually got our plane tickets at a super huge discount. Not only that, but she found us the most gorgeous villa to stay in. What's the word she used again? I think it was palatial. Anyway, the plan was that we were going to be staying in this wonderful villa for absolutely nothing. But that's why even if you go into full-on bridezilla panic mode and manage to get everything else reverted to how it was before, you'll never get my sister to let you stay at that villa.
Well, why the hell not? Your sister knows me. As long as you don't go whining and crying to her about losing John to me, I don't see why she shouldn't help me.
You realize she was invited to my wedding, right? She knows it was canceled and why. You really can't imagine why she wouldn't help you?
Listen, it's not fair for you to abuse your family connections to try and get back at me just because you're jealous of my life. If you want me to hold on to any shred of respect for you, you need to call your sister right this instant and have her take care of all this. All I want is to go on a beautiful honeymoon I had planned with my husband. Is that really so much to ask?
Who in their right mind would actually do any of that for you? You can just stand around in that airport forever for all I care.
Don't you screw with me right now, Talia. You need to make up for canceling all of these plans on us. The absolute least you could do is undo the damage that you've done so far. Your sister's company owns that villa, doesn't she? You better call her up immediately and tell her to let us stay there for free as well. And make her organize your plane tickets while she's at it.
I'll be doing no such thing. For your information, that villa has already been booked by another party. It's not available.
Yeah, right. And how would you know that?
Because my family's the one who booked it. We're all going to be staying there, so trust me when I tell you there's no space left. Especially not for a couple of mangy, cheating rats.
What did you just say to me?
You can read. After my sister heard about what you and John did to me, she changed all of the honeymoon arrangements immediately. She knew that I could definitely use some family time after being stabbed in the back by not just one, but two people that I really cared about. So she contacted the rest of the family and booked all of us for a family vacation. We're going to use this time to hang out as a family and help me forget about all of the pain I was going through. So while there may or may not be plane tickets left for you to find, there is absolutely, with no doubt, no chance of you booking that villa.
Don't screw with me like this. You think I give a crap about your little family vacation in comparison with my honeymoon? My honeymoon is way more important than some loser pity party. Hand the plane tickets and the villa over to us.
So you're going to try and take my family vacation away from me now too, huh? You sure are a piece of work. I have to respect the audacity, though.
Shut up! I am so sick of your attitude today. What has gotten into you lately? What happened to the girl who would always stand in line for me while I relaxed in the shade? What happened to my dedicated DD every time we went out? What happened to the girl who just handed over her fiancé and her wedding venue to me as soon as I asked for them? You need to hand this vacation over to me right away like the old Talia would, or else we're through. Do you hear me?
I don't think so. If you want to go to Hawaii that badly, you really should just plan the trip yourself. Why don't you try asking John's parents to help you out? Maybe there'll be some miracle and they'll pay for you to go to Hawaii.
What? What are you even talking about? Why would I ask John's parents? Why would they do something like that?
You're right, they'd never help you. I guess I should just let you know the truth now. I told his parents about why the wedding was scrapped. They were mortified when they heard about what really happened. They were so mortified, in fact, that they gave me the $10,000 that they'd intended to give John and I after we got married. They said I certainly deserved it more than John.
Yeah, right. You expect me to believe they just gave you $10,000? Like anyone would do that?
Believe what you want, but I did feel guilty taking that much money from John's parents. So I told them they should use some of that money to come enjoy Hawaii along with us. And you know what? They actually agreed.
What are you saying? You're with John's parents right now? And you're all going on vacation together? You want us to believe that both of your families are going to enjoy Hawaii together while we're stuck here?
I told you the villa was completely full, didn't I? And you can imagine the plane is pretty full as well. What with just how many people are in our party alone? I don't give you great odds of getting tickets, but who knows? Maybe someone will cancel. Definitely no one in our group is canceling, though. There's no doubt about that.
Listen, I've just about had it with your crap, Talia. Quit screwing around and get your sister on the phone to organize a trip for us. It's my honeymoon. I deserve to be on that plane and going to Hawaii. I don't want to hear any more of your crap about hanging out with John's parents. Nobody believes you. Now just call your sister and get this taken care of right now.
Well, that's fine. I don't need you to believe me. Just look up and see for yourself. I've got the perfect view of you two from up in the lounge. Can you see us? That's John's dad next to me waving. We're all super excited for a trip to Hawaii.
Oh my god, is that really you? Why are you all hanging out in the lounge together? Come out here right this second. You have to let us come to Hawaii as well.
What? And leave this beautiful lounge.
Don't mess with me, just get down here.
But why? To go talk to a couple of lousy cheaters? I'll pass. Oh, there's something else I should let you know in advance. I won't be buying either of you any souvenirs. Well, they're going to be boarding shortly, so I'll have to say bye now. Enjoy your airport honeymoon. After taking a moment to appreciate the view of Clarice and John standing there dumbfounded at the ticket counter, we all waved goodbye and headed to the gate. The trip to Hawaii was very fun, thanks to all of my sister's planning. I was able to completely recover from the shock of having my engagement called off at the very last moment. On the other hand, when John's parents returned home, they cut ties with him for what he had done to me. None of our friends or acquaintances were impressed with the last-minute bride swap at the wedding either, and most of them cut ties as well. I guess the good news for them is that John was already scheduled to transfer to Texas, so they were able to escape all the disapproval from everyone back here. Apparently, they couldn't pack up and get out of town fast enough once they realized they had no friends left here. Good riddance to both of them.